Hey everyone, it is Dave. Welcome in. It's time for Module 4. It's hard to believe that Module 4 puts us halfway through this class already, with this being a fast track course. So this week we do have some flexibility for you to catch up on some past lectures or past journals, get those completed, because all we're doing this week is the midterm exam, which is 60 questions, multiple choice. The exam is timed, but it is open book, and I'll talk about that in just a moment when we go to the module. And then we also have the submission link for the journals. Again, submission for 1 through 6. If you did not complete all 6, turn in what you have. It is better to get partial credit than no credit at all. And that is all we're doing this week. So there's no new material. Beginning next week, we transition from the traditional art that we've been talking about so far in the course to modern art. We're going to talk about photography and Impressionism, Claude Monet, Edward Manet, Jackson Pollock, Picasso. That's all in the second half of the class. So let's head over to the Canvas site. I'll walk you through this week's module. All right, here we are on the Canvas site. This week is Module 4. We've got the video you're watching up top. We'll take a look at the introduction. There's not a whole lot there, but it just does talk about the format for the midterm exam. So the midterm and the final are exactly the same as far as format goes. We're going to have 60 questions. They're each worth 2 points, and you have a total of 60 minutes to take the exam. So that is 1 question per minute. So you don't really have a whole lot of time to look questions up. You do have to have studied for the exam. But normally when I have a 60 question exam, you're normally done in about 45 minutes or so. The midterm exam does cover material from modules 1 through 4, and then anything after the midterm, modules 5 through 8, that's going to be what is making up the final. I do have a really cool lecture on test taking techniques this week. The midterm does need to be completed by Sunday evening, February 9th. I do have the due date set at 3 o'clock, but the window is open until 11:59 p.m. But the sooner you take it, the better. I would actually suggest taking it during the week. Also, submit the journals, number 1 through 6, by Sunday the 9th. However, I am allowing you, normally I don't, but I'm going to allow a late window that stretches all the way until the 16th. So if that gives you a little bit more flexibility, because I want you to do well on the midterm, please make sure those are in by the appropriate due dates. Looking back at the module here, we do have the lecture on test-taking techniques. So this is something I taught when I was teaching college success classes, and it was always weird to me that no one really talked about how to go about taking exams. This video will help you with that. There's also a worksheet that if we were in class, I'd have you work in small groups, just filling this out and talking about it. The midterm exam is here. The midterm exam is kind of set up very similar to how the syllabus quiz was. So it's the same basic format. A question will pop in. Usually it'll have an image as well. You click what you think is the correct answer. When you do that, there'll be a check mark right next to question 1 or whichever question you answer. Here's the timer. It does, I think, start to flash around the 5-minute mark when there's 5 minutes left on the exam. And once you're done, click the Submit Quiz button, and that is all you have to do. The Submit Journals, that link is open as well. Here, just make sure that if you're submitting journals, multiple journals in one document, it's real easy to tell the difference between the documents. So please start them on new pages. When you're typing, please make sure they're double spaced. This was all in the journal instructions in the first module. Standard typefaces. Please left justify as well. I've had a lot of students who like to center everything, it is so difficult to read when the paper is centered. So always left justify. Sunday, February 9th is the due date, although I am allowing some late work. That's fine. Standard Word docs, PDF, JPEGs are what is acceptable for submission. And if you need to go back to any of the journals, I have the links right here. Each of them worth 5 points, total of 30 points in all. And that is really all we have in the module this week. If you have questions, please email me. And also office hours are slightly different this week. I do have some meetings to go to on Wednesday, unfortunately. So Tuesday, I will be around for office hours, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Feel free to log on to ask me any questions. And I will see you shortly to talk about Module 5. Module 5, we begin our study of modern art.